do you want to talk about weed culture being cringe or a Karen ripping off a chick's short skirt?
Oh,
You
I'm
pick.
good with either one. Let's do the weed one being cringe. That's going to be more
Okay.
polarizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I pissed off weed Twitter yesterday.
Oh,
So
I always upset weed Twitter on this topic. And I'm
yeah.
not even I think that hey, some people actually uh need it. They have a lot of benefit for it if they have very if they're dealing with chronic pain, so
Oh
on and
yeah.
so forth.
I'd
But
rather I'd rather you use THC or cannabis than opioids. 100%.
exactly. But I
Yeah.
do think that there are way too many healthy people who don't even have any issues, who are only using it for recreation and just wasting their lives away, just getting high and watching TV. And I do think that I think that some people can take it to a degenerate level, just like with drinking or so on and so forth.
All right. Melonie and I are gonna fight on this one. Okay, so
Okay.
the so I put out this tweet yesterday where basically Seth Rogen kicks off his Hollywood Bowl thing by lighting a giant bong because weed. Um,
Mhm.
it's like the only joke that Seth Rogen has, and like just so people know, okay, where I stand. Melanie kind of just told you where she stood,
Yeah.
squarely in the square. But I don't care if people enjoy herb at all recreationally, and I think that it is a substance that is wildly underutilized for health problems. However, I do not think that it is a personality trait, and I think that it is cringe if you're out of high school and you're
Right.
wearing like, pot leaf bucket hats and like, Bob Marley t-shirts and all this stuff. Like, it's not a person, just like being LGBTQ isn't a personality trait, neither is smoking pot. Everybody does. Okay. Most people, not Melanie, but a lot of people do. And it's not cool to like. I remember when I was in high school, okay? Obviously, since my mom watches the show, this is all hypothetical. But like hypothetically, I mean, I started enjoying the devil's lettuce when I was like 16, okay?
Mhm.
I also dated the principal's daughter and had a 4.0 GPA while I was enjoying the devil's lettuce. So I was a work hard, play hard guy. And for the rest of my life, it's always been something that I've enjoyed in moderation. I had plenty of friends. Just I want to preface where I'm coming from. I had several friends that it actually did ruin their lives, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
Like they a lot when you don't have a ton of money or a scholarship and you're just a boring old whitey, generally the best way, or if you have low grades, to get into a 4-year college is you go to community college for 2 years in your state. Like in Wisconsin, what all the kids would do is we go to community college for 2 years. You could live at home, save money. And then you could transfer into the big state schools, and they had to take you as long as you had a C average or something like that.
Mhm.
And I remember several of my friends, like going to college was the easiest in my thing ever. I worked full time repairing computers. I would go to college, which was like right up the road. I stayed with my parents. They were very accommodating for me. They didn't charge me rent when I was 19 or 20. And I remember walking into school, you'd have like in college, it'd be like I'd have 2 classes on Wednesdays and then like a couple classes like 1 day a week. So I'd have like a 1-hour class on a Wednesday. I'd be walking into school and like my buddy, I'd be walking out from class. It's like noon. And my buddy, I'll call him Raj because his name is Raj. And he was a grocery store guy for me. He was he sold a lot of vegetables. He would be walking into school and he'd be like, "Hey man, want to take a space cruise?" I'm like, "Bro, just go to class. I'll just wait,
Yeah.
smoke like 2 cigarettes." Like classes were 50 minutes long, 50, not hours and
Mhm.
hours. And I'd be like, "Bro, I'll just wait out here. Like we can go space cruise later. We can, for those that don't know, that's when you drive around and smoke. It's a very stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
Um, but it's what you did. And he'd be like, "Nah, dude, we'll just go." And he would have driven all the way to school, college, walked all the way to the front door, seen me walking out, and just be like, "Nah, let's just go smoke." I'd be like, "Dude, just go to class. Meet up. I'll go get some dinner. And I'll go get some lunch, and we'll smoke weed afterwards. Like, it's still gonna work."
Mhm.
And I had several friends. One of my friends wanted to be a nuclear physicist,
Right.
and he just got too much into the culture.
Mhm.
And, again, I'm somebody who I've smoked my whole life. I'm 41. I still enjoy THC. But, um, the culture around it is cringe
Yeah.
and lame, like, dude, weed Lamau." Like,
Well, and a lot of people just don't do regulation well. You see this with even food, for example, and something like weed, which is really tapping into your dopamine, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people are just feeding. They're chasing that dopamine hit, and
literally.
yeah, in any kind of way, um, almost to the point to where it's too much, and it's keeping them from doing more things in society. So it's like, okay, it's one thing if people can learn moderation with this kind of stuff, but a lot of people can't. This is why you see obesity is so rampant because people are chasing that dopamine hit, eating a ton of food, and that's holding them back in life. So I think in the same way, some people with weed, um, they're just chasing that dopamine hit over and over and over again
Yeah,
to where they're staying more in a slothful state. They're staying more, it's keeping them from achieving greater. So yeah, there can be a balance. Some people aren't able to do that at all. Some people can't balance. Some people, and in that case, I think they should stay away from it altogether. But I do think that people chase dopamine hits way too much. You still gotta get through life. You're gonna hold yourself back if your whole
yeah.
entire life is based around, oh, let me get that dopamine hit. Let me get that next dopamine hit.
Mhm. Yeah, you're not wrong, and I've never been one to, like I the thing is, like, I know this is crazy to our viewers, but I'm actually not stupid. Like, I know that, for example, if you consume THC, like, if you're smoking joints all day, it's actually super not healthy. Like,
Right.
a lot of, like, dopers will be like, "Bruh, it's not cigarettes." No, it's actually way worse for your lungs. And obviously, the driving and stuff like that, these are all things I've done my whole life, and so that's why I can't, like, judge people for it. But
Mhm.
I just think Seth Rogen is 43 years old. Like, dude, chill. Like, it is not first of
Yeah.
all, it's legal where he lives in Canada. It's legal in half the states of the country. And, like, I was making fun of this stupid Twitch, e-girl who's like, that's her whole thing. Like, "Ugh, oh, it's a bong rip thing." I'm like, dude, weed is not a personality trait. It
Mhm.
like, enjoy it. It'd be like, it's just as cringe if you're like, "I'm a whiskey guy, and I put all these whiskeys behind me,"
Yeah,
I was
that's
like
cringe
it's the
too.
same cringe stuff, like,
Yeah.
dude, it's alcohol, man. Like, it's not that cool. It's not like, I guess if you're into, like, you know, uh, Pappy Van Winkle, you got, like, $5,000 bottles of whiskey behind you, okay, I'll show you some respect, but, like, it's like Weed Twitter got really mad at me for being like, "This is lame." But the
Yeah.
guy's 43. When I was in high school, we used to do this thing, sorry, mom, but, we used to do bull burns on our hands. I don't know if anyone's ever done this or if this is uniquely a West Bend, Wisconsin thing, but we would take a pipe, bowl, a
Mhm.
glass one, and, like, torch it with a lighter and then like, burn a circle in your hand. Why? Don't know. Like, weed
Wow.
culture. And, like, guys would do that. And,
Wow.
it was like it was like, okay, I don't make any apologies for anything I did in high school because it was whatever.
Yeah.
It was high
Yeah.
school. But, like, I was never like a burnout even when like, I went to school, I worked 40 hours a week, I went to college
Mhm.
full time, and I smoked weed, a lot
Yeah.
of weed. But I never was like, "Oh, there's absolutely no side effects to this, and it's absolutely, totally fine. It's from the earth,
I'm not
man."
buying that. I think there's probably more side effects than people realize. Also, the fact that the
Psychosis
government
is one.
yeah, and that the government legalized it, but then under you have to buy it from them, the fact that they're regulating it,
Yeah.
that also makes me very suspicious about the quality of it, what the crap else they could be putting into it. I don't
Yeah,
trust it.
yeah, I mean, there's obviously that. The weird thing is, you know when I was, like, making fun of burnouts, they're like, they got really mad. I'm like, "Dude, I've enjoyed the devil's lettuce for, oh my god, 25 years. I don't have any problem with it. I don't have any problem with people who do it. But if you're one of these people, and everyone knows them, probably not Melonie because she lives in a bubble, but, like, you all know the guy or girl that just has to reek like weed. Like, everywhere they go, they reek like weed, and it's like, "We get it. You smoked in the car. Cool, bro." But, like, when you're 25, it's not cool anymore. When you're 43, like Seth Rogen, it's pathetic. Like,
Yeah.
smoke your weed, I don't care, I don't judge you for it, but it's lame, and it's not a personality trait, and it's not something that, like, promotes positivity or
Mhm.
promotes productivity or anything good. I do believe it's a for a different stream we could talk about all the hilarious CBD tards out there because they
Yeah.
exist too. Like CBD cures everything. Yeah, okay. Um but yeah, weed Twitter got mad and it was funny, but smoke your weed, no one cares. I think that's I mean Melanie cares. She says you're going to hell, but I don't
No,
care.
I don't think people go to hell for smoking weed.
I don't think they do either. Here's what I
Yeah.
always said against my, like, religious friends, like, if God didn't like, I'd be like, "Hey, Coke God didn't make Coke." I mean, he made a coca leaf, but it's not like he made Coke like, floating around. He made
Right.
marijuana plants, and they grow. He wanted me to smoke it. God
I
would
think
want
I
you.
think people can, especially like I said earlier too, with chronic pain, things like that, people can, uh,
Yeah.
get benefit out of it and for medicinal reasons. Some people I'm not gonna I don't know, at the end of the day, I think that people can be way degenerate with it, but I don't think that inherently people smoking weed are going to hell or anything like that.
You heard it here,
Yeah.
folks. Melanie says, "Spark up."